Hey, hi, and howdy, sweet friends. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new. My name is Courtney, and I do food and kitchen content here on my channel, weekly grocery hauls every Tuesday. Saturdays are my What's for Dinner style videos, which you're watching now, and starting next weekend on Sundays, I'm going to also be adding a Mediterranean diet style What's for Dinner, because I am currently doing the Mediterranean diet, so I'm not eating everything that my family's eating, and I'm going to share that with y'all on Sundays. So if you're interested in any of those, hit that subscribe button and stick around because I've got all kinds of content coming your way, plus stuff that I have already uploaded that you may really enjoy watching. All right, so let's go ahead and kick off this week's meals with Mediterranean fish. Now, I know that I titled this as a budget-friendly video, and a lot of people say fish is super expensive, but shop your sales. I picked up the fish I'm using today. It's cod, and I got all the fish that I'm using for just $5 because it was on sale. So definitely use whatever fish is on sale, shop your sales. You could also sub like chicken if you wanted to, or shrimp, anything like that. Just shop your sales. All right, we're going to kick it off by making the sauce that the fish will simmer in. Now, you could totally use onions, but I wanted to shake things up a little bit. I use onions all the time, so this time I'm using leeks just for fun. I love the flavor of leeks. I have a couple of other recipes that I use them for, and they're just beautiful, and it's fun to kind of do something different. But of course, you don't have to do that. You could totally use regular onions. I've just sliced and diced these up, and as you can see, I had them soaking in water. Once you slice them, put them in water because they grow up through the soil, so it traps all kinds of sand and grit between all the layers, and that's the way you just clean them and keep that from getting in your food. And then you just drain the water out and toss them in your pan with a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and some pepper, and we're going to saute these and let them do their thing. They cook fairly quickly. It only took about 5 or so minutes to soften up, and now I'm going to add in some of my confit garlic. The link for that recipe is always in my description box because this is my absolute favorite kitchen condiment. I love this stuff. I always have it in stock in my kitchen. But of course, if you don't, or you don't want to make it, fresh garlic or garlic powder is a great substitute. I threw in some roasted red peppers because I had some in my fridge and I just wanted to use them up. And then I threw in some Castelvetrano olives. I hope I'm saying that right. They are slightly briny, but way less briny than your typical green olive because my husband doesn't care for briny olives. Then I threw in some plain black olives because he doesn't care for briny olives. But my personal recommendation would just be a whole bunch of Kalamata olives. I think that would be beautiful. The original recipe that I'm linking below for this does call for something totally different, and I have added some extra things just for funsies in this. You can compare and decide which way you want to cook it. Along with all of those olives, I also tossed in a can of quartered artichoke hearts because I just love artichokes, and they were on sale at my grocery store. I had a coupon, so it was a great time to buy some. I then tossed in 1 can of diced tomatoes and 1 can of crushed tomatoes, and I'm going to add a little bit of this mushroom broth. Now, you could totally add water. You could add some broth that you mix with bouillon powder. That's perfectly fine. Because I'm doing the Mediterranean diet and I'm going to be eating this, I did not want to use bouillon because it's really not on that diet. It has a lot of extra stuff in it. This was a very organic broth that has pretty much exactly what you expect in it. It's got mushrooms and garlic and onion, and I think that's it. It's very, very basic. So I added some of that in and simmered the sauce until it thickened up, probably about 20 to 30 minutes. And now I'm going to add my fish in. I'm just going to place them right on in there. I'm only doing 3 because my youngest 2 kids just really don't like fish, and that's okay. They'll eat chicken and stuff like that. So then I placed these in here and went ahead and started covering them with some of that sauce. They're just going to simmer in here to cook, and it's going to be so beautiful because it imparts so much flavor in here. So once I got them completely covered, I put the lid on the pot and then just let them simmer for about 15 minutes or so. You'll have to watch yours depending on the thickness of your fish. Your time may vary. But these are beautiful. I served everyone else's over mashed potatoes, and for myself, I had them over a bed of 7 grains, and it was just a mix that I bought at H-E-B. All right, harvest chicken salad. Man, this stuff is so good. It's a staple in my home, and we do this for lunches pretty often because it goes a long way. So I'm using my home canned chicken. That's what I'm showing you there, but you could use store-bought. You could buy a rotisserie chicken. If you're looking for something budget-friendly, they're $4.98 at Sam's Club, and it will make you so much chicken salad. You can buy any kind of chicken that's on sale and cook it yourself. It's totally up to you, but for me, my home canned chicken is perfect, and mine is pre-seasoned. I season it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder, I believe it is. And if you're using anything else, you might want to season your chicken. All right, so into the bowl, I started off by chopping up 1 apple because I'm making a smaller jar. This is just a pint jar. If you're using more chicken than that, you might want to up the amount that you're using, but 1 apple was great for this. I then grabbed a handful of walnuts. I love walnuts. You could use almonds, you could use pecans, whatever you choose. And I went ahead and gave them a rough chop and threw them in there. And then I've got a couple of ribs of celery that I also gave a quick chop to and got them all pretty much the same size. So our bite-sized pieces are all the same. They're all going to be about the same size as these craisins that I'm throwing in there, just a couple of handfuls. If you don't like craisins or you're looking for something cheaper, raisins are a great alternative, or fresh grapes are also super delicious. I've done all of those alternatives in here. I'm then going to use a little bit of mayonnaise as the binder for this, so it kind of like creates the salad. I'm going to stir all this together, and then we'll go ahead and add the chicken. Now, because mine's home canned chicken, it's kind of like crammed in there, so I have to flake it up when I get it out of the jar. Oh, I almost forgot. Dill pickles. This definitely needs some dill pickles. You can skip it if you want to, but I'm a pickle lover, so we're going to add a little bit in there, probably just 2 tablespoons. And there's that chicken. Like I said, I have to break mine up, but it comes out flavorful and delicious and juicy, and it flakes beautifully. I was really nervous the first time I canned chicken because it just sounded strange, but I got to tell you guys, this is like one of my favorite things that I do can. It is so convenient to have, and it tastes absolutely amazing, way better than the stuff that you buy at the store, and it's so easy to do. Anyway, I just mixed that chicken right on in there. Got everybody, you know, getting to know each other at this party. And I like to let this sit for a good 30 minutes before I serve it. Keep that in mind if you can, because it just gives the flavor time to kind of meld. I'm adding a little bit of salt and pepper, and that's it. But again, if you're not using seasoned chicken, I really do recommend onion powder and garlic powder in here as well. It just brings a beautiful flavor to it. It needs a little bit of it. And that's all she wrote. This is great on bread. This is great with crackers. It's great on top of a bed of lettuce. This chicken salad is so delicious. I will list all the ingredients down below so you guys can make it at home. It's so simple and so absolutely amazing. All right, flatbread pizza. This one's super cheap because I managed to get the flatbreads, the naan, on clearance at Walmart, and that's what makes it so budget friendly. Keep in mind though, if you cannot find this on sale, maybe you'll find some clearance pizza crust that's pre-made, or maybe you'll find some clearance garlic bread on the bread rack. Any of those are great options because they're super cheap, and it makes for such a fast, easy, and convenient meal. So I am making my son's pizza here, and he's going to have a supreme style pizza. So I started off with a little bit of pizza sauce there. I just make my own. It's just a can of tomato sauce that I mix in a little bit of Italian seasoning, olive oil, garlic, onion powder, and just give it a little stir, and it makes some beautiful pizza sauce. I always put my cheese on right after my sauce. Now, if you guys are new here, you don't know, my son is not a fan of cheese at all. So I just put a little bit on his, but if you like yours extra cheesy, you go right on ahead and throw on a few more handfuls or a mix of cheese. Maybe you want some cheddar on there as well. I like to throw provolone on, but I was out. Whatever you like. Now, as far as toppings, like I said, we're doing a supreme for my son. So I have got some onions. I've got some bell peppers there. Oh, I love bell peppers on a pizza. If I had had some mushrooms, I would be throwing them on there, but we had eaten all of the mushrooms. So I threw on some black olives and some green olives. Man, those Spanish olives are amazing on a pizza just because they have such bright flavor, but also consider pickled jalapenos or pepperoncini, something like that, because it is just such a fun flavor on pizza. And then finally, I'm going to top it with a little bit of pepperoni, because who doesn't love some pepperoni on their pizza? This was absolutely so easy and so delicious. And this naan bread crisps up beautifully on the bottom. And if you like your thin, crispy crust, this is definitely for you. If you're looking for something that's a little bit thicker and doughier, I definitely recommend some clearance garlic bread. That would be absolutely perfect for you then. All right, and finally, we're going to make some Mississippi pork in the slow cooker, and we're going to use it for 2 separate recipes. I didn't eat either of these because there's just a bunch of stuff in Mississippi anything that's not on the Mediterranean diet, but I will tell you I've eaten it in the past, and Mississippi anything is one of my favorites. It tastes phenomenal. If you go follow a regular recipe, it's going to tell you an entire stick of butter, but that is just so much butter, and I don't think you need that much. 1, that's expensive, and 2, that's just a lot of butter. So I cut up 4 little pads. That's roughly 4 tablespoons. You can give or take a little bit. 3 works fine too. I placed it on top, and then I put in the equivalent of 1 packet of ranch and 1 packet of au jus gravy mix. And then we're gonna add some pickled jalapenos. Now most recipes call for pepperoncinis, and that's great. If you've got them, use them. Pickled jalapenos are a lot cheaper. They taste fantastic. They work beautifully in these recipes. They're always something I have in my fridge, so I find them to be the perfect alternative that's more budget friendly and much more convenient for me. But if you have pepperoncinis, go for it. And make sure you pour some of that juice in there, because the juice gives it so much flavor. I mean, so much flavor. You can put as many or as few peppers as you want in there. I obviously like a pretty decent amount. And as far as adding the juice goes, I usually do about a 1/4 cup. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add in about 1/2 cup of water. That's because I don't put the whole stick of butter in. We need a little bit more moisture in there. And once it's done cooking, I just shred it up, and it is so delicious. I served it over mashed potatoes first, and then I served it as basically like a taco salad style. I've got ranch style beans and Spanish rice that I made from a rice-a-roni packet mix, the meat, spinach, tomatoes, and of course you've got to have some Catalina dressing on this style of a taco salad. Oh, and I threw some black olives in there too. So easy, so delicious, so flavorful. You can make this with beef, pork, or chicken. Any of those work with the Mississippi seasoning. It's totally up to you. Those are the meals I made this week. They went a long way. They were pretty budget friendly. They were super simple and very quick to throw together. I will list or link recipes as necessary down below in the description box if you want to try these at home. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday for my grocery haul. Have a great one, guys. Bye.